Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Jessica, and I am the researcher in charge of the BESOCIAL project at the Royal Library of Belgium, KBR. I'm here with my colleague Sally from the Ghent CDH Research Institute. So we really appreciate the opportunity to present the BESOCIAL project today. And as the title of the presentation indicates, the aim of the project is to set up a sustainable social media archiving strategy for Belgium. The project was initiated after the end of the Promise project that ran between 2017 and 2019. A federal strategy for the preservation of the Belgian web at KBR was developed. However, during this project, the question of social media archiving was sidelined. The complexity of the topic merited a research project on its own. As you can see in this slide, in Belgium, a number of institutions are currently archiving social media. For instance, the Felix Archive in Antwerp captures the social media of the city of Antwerp. The Liberal Archives capture social media related to local elections, and the AMSAB, Institute of Social History in Ghent, also collects social media content related to their archiving holdings. Given the focused collection scope of this institution, it's necessary to reflect upon social media archiving at the national level in Belgium. This is why the BESOCIAL project has been launched in summer 2020. This two-year project will create a twofold Belgian strategy to preserve and archive online social media content. The BESOCIAL project, financed by Belspo Brain BE, is the result of a collaboration between KBR and 5 partners of choice. CRITS works on legal issues related to the information society. Cental and ID Lab will contribute the necessary technical skills related to information and data sciences, whereas Ghent CDH and MICT have significant expertise in the field of communication studies and digital humanities. This fruitful cooperation between a federal institution and 3 Belgian universities emphasizes the importance of interdisciplinarity in the context of a complex project in which technical, operational, and legal aspects are at play. This project focuses on the collection of social media content published by a number of Belgian newspapers in KBR's collection, as well as social media content about specific, often unforeseen, events of national and historical importance that become hot topics on social media platforms, such as the COVID-19 crisis or the terrorist attacks in Brussels. These events will be selected during the project. The social media content will complement the existing newspaper collection and will provide researchers with deeper insight into the context and societal debate surrounding specific themes, events, or issues. On this slide, you can see the list of Belgian newspapers in KBR's collection. The green dot indicates the social media channel they are using, and the red dot the one they are not. BESOCIAL will not focus on audiovisual content, such as YouTube content or lesser used media channels such as LinkedIn or Pinterest. It will target exclusively the social media channels Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The project is spread over 2 years throughout 7 work packages. The first one will be the review of existing social media archiving projects and corpora in Belgium and abroad. The aim of these work packages is to analyze selection, access, and preservation policies, existing foreign legal frameworks, and existing technical solutions. The work package 2 will be the preparation of pilot for social media archiving, including the development of a methodology for selection and the technical and functional requirements. An analysis of the user requirements and the existing legal frameworks is also included. The work package 3 will be the pilot for social media archiving, including harvesting, quality control, and the development of a preservation plan. The work package 4 will be the pilot for access to social media archive, focusing on legal consideration, the development of an access platform, and evaluating the pilot. And then the work package 5 will be the recommendation for sustainable social media archiving in Belgium on the legal, technical, and operational aspects. Work package 6 and work package 7 will be about the coordination, dissemination, and valorization for the first one, and the second one will be the help desk for legal inquiries throughout the project. The results of this project will be a first major step towards implementing a long-term social media archiving strategy for Belgium. The collection of social media content will also constitute an interesting complement to the collection of websites archived during the PROMISE project. So now I would like to give the floor to Sally to present the work package 1 in more details.
Thanks very much, Jessica. So as Jessica has just said, the BESOCIAL project only kicked off a couple of months ago. So we're still in the startup phase, but we'd like to share the sort of work we've already been working on. So in work package 1, the core challenge is to work on a state-of-the-art review of both existing social media projects and corpora internationally and in Belgium. So we've already sent out a survey, which some of you may have already, in the audience, may have already filled in. Thank you very much for those of you who have, to 18 international institutions and also 10 Belgian institutions, as Jessica already showed on the map earlier. What we're looking to analyse is the particular preservation policies, strategies and plans. For example, some of the questions that we've been asking are related to harvesting of social media. Which platforms are different institutions archiving? What is the frequency of that archiving? And are there policies in place regarding collection strategies? Another area is really looking at the foreign legal networks, frameworks, about what is in place, what legal restrictions have been experienced when archiving social media. And finally, and this is why this webinar is so relevant for us, to analyse existing technical solutions. So we've been looking, my colleague Sven, who is also in the audience, has been looking at the user needs related to the tools, what kind of metadata is preserved during the archiving process, and undertaking an extensive a review of the tools that are available. So let's just look at one of the key things of this is looking at the legal challenges related to the archiving of social media. As Jessica already said, this is a follow-up from the PROMISE project looking at web archiving, and our colleagues Krids at the University of Namur did extensive research about looking at the different legal frameworks in Europe and internationally. And now we want to understand what is the difference, or are there differences between legal challenges to do with web archiving and legal challenges related to social media archiving. Some of the issues that we think are of particular relevance are, for example, the terms and conditions that come from the various social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. And also, what is the blurring between the public and the private sphere when it comes to social media archiving. And finally, authenticity and integrity of the data. As we all know, there is a lot of online disinformation, or as otherwise said, fake news. So how do we consider these kind of issues when we're looking at archiving social media for the long term. Next, of course, we have already sent out this to 18 institutions and also 10 institutions in Belgium. But we would really love, if you would like to be involved in the BESOCIAL project, we would very much like to hear from you already. We've already had feedback from the institutions. Here they are split up. We've had about 11 feedbacks already, and some of them are already in process. One of the great things is that this is an update of what we did in the Promise project, and to date all of the institutions involved have agreed to openly share their data. So we will make this corpus available afterwards, but everybody can see the data. It is in the Google Sheet, so that is wonderful commitment to open science there. We would very much like to invite you, and at the end of this presentation you can contact us if you are very interested in participating. Just briefly, 2 deadlines. 1st of September, if you can reply very quickly, there is an opportunity to join us in the International Journal of Digital Humanities, but if not, there is opportunity to participate in the survey until the end of October, so plenty of time there. So as we are the newest project in this series of webinars, we thought we could have an ideal opportunity to ask you, both the other presenters and also the audience here, because you're all social media archiving experts. So just to run through our questions to you that could be used for the discussion later. If you could give us one piece of advice as a merging social media archiving project, what would that be? Have you learned lessons that you would like to prevent us from having to learn? We're very interested in what the interrelationship is between web archives and social media archives. There's many institutions here that probably collect both, but do you use the same policies or difference? What are the similarities and differences? We've done extensive looking into the legal challenges, but here we've got speakers from both New Zealand and Australia, and we'd be very interested to see which particular legal challenges you have faced regarding social media archiving. And then looking more at the technical side of things, what provenance information is stored in your systems and how? And of that information, which of it is most useful to the researchers that will actually use the social media archive at the end of the process? And also, what are your experiences with crawling social media via websites? We're looking at particular issues such as quality, advantages to using an API, for example, or legal aspects in terms of terms of use. So we'd be very happy to, if you would be willing to share your experiences with us. So thanks very much for letting us present. You can follow us on the hashtag BESOCIAL project. There is the information which I think Olga will put into the chat box at the moment. There is Jessica's contact details, and if you are interested in participating in the survey, don't hesitate to contact our colleague Eveline Vlassenroth. Thanks very much.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Jessica and Sally.